what a start. Inside out and upside down. No stress, I'ma clean up this mess.
Hi, it's Leigh here. Thanks for coming back to my channel. Today I'm going to make a piece of a masterboard, a mixed media masterboard that has some collaging on it as well. I'm going to make it on this, which is a page out of my Australiana history book sort of thing, but I like it because it's quite a sturdy paper, and you get, of course, some of that print coming through if you don't cover it well enough. And I've got my box of, I don't know if you can see this, it says use first. Okay, so this is my box, my ever accumulating box of scraps, and hopefully I'm going to be able to use some of them today. I've got some paints, I've got black and white gesso, I've got glue. So I'm going to start firstly putting something down on this paper here to begin with, just to help me stay in camera in the shot. I'm just going to tape down this piece of paper that I'm using. Okay, so if I stay in there I should be right. So I'm not worrying about putting my glue onto anything as sophisticated as a bowl or anything like that. I'm just going to pour it straight onto the paper. So I'm just, whatever I put my hand on is what's going on this paper. I'm just going to put some white gesso on there now. I'm not worrying that it's not dry, it doesn't bother me at all. Well, it's dry enough to work with, and I just had this idea because I saw this piece just sitting over to the side, and I thought I could cover the whole thing in that and you'll be able to see through it, and then we can, you know, you got those marks. That's nice. But yeah, it's an experiment, so it doesn't really matter if it doesn't work. It's just a piece of paper, isn't it? This is a piece of the tissue that I put stamps on with leaves in another video, so there'll be a link to that video up in the corner if you want to have a look at that. And then there's also a link up there for another video where I coloured some of the papers with inks and bits and pieces. Okay, yeah, I like the way that looks, and you can still see what's underneath it, but whether any of that's showing when it's finished is another story. Well, that's dry enough to work on. I love it already. I almost don't want to cover over that. What I'm going to just put on here now is some inks. So this is wild honey, and I'm just going to scrape that over the surface, and where all the wrinkles are on that tissue paper is just going to pick up the ink. So I'm not going to wet this, I'm going to just leave it like that, and now I'm going to put some paint on it, or am I? Maybe some black gesso through a stencil. How about bubble wrap? I don't want too much black on it. Not at this stage anyway. Just sort of add some spots. And this is so random. I'm not even thinking about where they're going. Wherever they land, that's where they're going to be living. Now, what do I want to put on there? A bit of this bright coloured paint, I think. And some green. That's dry. Now I've got some fluoro pink, and I'm going to just dab it on with this makeup sponge. I like the way that bright pink is mixing with that oxide. It's really going nice and bright orange under there. I found a bag with some die cuts in it that I'm never going to use, so I'm going to glue them on. So I'm just going to keep building up the texture till I'm happy with the way it looks and feels. A lot of these die cuts didn't cut properly. I'm quite happy to use them on this. The one thing I am going to do once I've finished this layer is to scrape a thin layer of gesso over it, and that'll show the texture up a bit more. So pretty much, you know, throwing anything at all onto the paper, having fun, and just creating with a bit of abandon. Doesn't matter what it turns out like, it's just a piece of paper. Well, I used them all up except for the one that wouldn't stick, plus one or two pieces of vellum. That was good, that got rid of those. Okay, so I want to dry that, and then I'm going to cover it with scrape some white gesso over the top. Okay, so that's got just a thin coat of gesso over the top of all those die cut leaves. So that's going to help them to stick and mute back that colour in the background so that I can add some more layers on top. It just makes all the texture show up as well. So far I'm loving the way this is looking. I'll just hold it up to the camera. Hopefully you can see the texture in there. I'm not sure whether you can or not. So once again I need to dry that. Okay, so that's dry enough to continue on with now. And I just found some pieces left over from when I did Barbara, Louisa and Rhonda's challenge, so I thought I might just stick them down somewhere on here. Yeah, I'll dry it and then I'll add some more paints and things. I'm going to put some inks on there, so just dry that off. Alright, that's all nice and dry, and I have dragged a thin layer of gesso over the top of those bits of paper, the digitals. So now I've got some other colours that I want to add on there, and so I'm just going to randomly splash them around.
Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal. Some would say I'm insane in the right in a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know, and give me your freedom. To pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. Life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. Just do what you want with me. pandemonium. Life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces. Yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium.
I just mixed a nice greeny colour from a bit of that blue and some white gesso and a little bit of yellow, so I just want to put some of that around in different places. Just doing this to sort of unify everything. Okay, so that's my finished masterboard. What I did was I just got some black archival ink and I did a little bit of text stamping on it, and I've got these two acrylic stamps. One says today's story and the other one says right now. So I popped a bit of that on there, trimmed off the edges. This is a tag template and you can see how dynamic the tags look when you take just sections of it. I'll probably get about 8 off this, I think. I'll cut that up into tags and show you that in a moment. I decided not to cut the whole page up. I'm going to make another video where I do some art tiles, and I would like to use some of this for my art tiles. I think that would look really nice mounted onto some white card, so I'm going to try that as well. But this is what it looks like, cut into tags and cut into little shapes, so completely different to the way that it looked when it was a whole sheet. Keep an eye out for the art tile video, so these will be little tiles. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you've got any questions, I hope you've gotten some ideas of how you can make your own colourful collage masterboard, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Cheers from Australia. Bye for now. Hooroo.